pleased, Stephen, with what you got out of tonight's game?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it certainly was the hit out that we expected. I mean, it was very competitive in the first half, and you know, we certainly at times made it pretty hard on ourselves. But you know, for the most part, I thought we got the condition that that I thought we needed, and you could see out there. The guys were trying to get their second wind, and they found it pretty hard at times. And I thought the Leeds team, made it hard for us the way they played, which was really good for us in the end. I think we settled into our rhythm, which we have, which we know what works for us in the second half. And but again, I thought for the most part it's a good stepping stone for us.
What about the half-backs? Were you pleased with their first result?
Yeah, again, I think it was hard to get a real gauge on them in terms of, particularly in the first half. I didn't think we had a great deal of clean football or any sort of momentum with the football in the first half. And but in the second half, I thought they were a lot better. Again, that's something we'll work on this week in preparation for next week.
Nicarima looked good when he came off the bench. Was that giving you a bit more food for thought?
Yeah, I mean, I work with him, every week at club level, so I know what he's capable of and what he can bring to the game. So I think that's certainly his best. I think his best position where he can come on where a lot of the momentum or steam's been taken out of the game, and he's pretty sharp-headed dummy half and can cause some trouble. So, but we'll see how everyone pulls up. I'll have a good look at the game and see what best suits us for next week.
Did you have any injury concerns after tonight?
We picked up a couple. So again, we'll just have to keep a close eye on those two in particular. And
who were they, Steve?
Adam Blair, he come off, and Jordan Carr, who didn't come back on after half time. So we'll just see how they are over the next few days.
What can we say their injuries are, Steve?
One's a calf, Blairy, and another one's Geordie had a bit of a sore groin before the in warm-up, so he went out and played the first half, but we didn't want to take any risks, so we pulled him off. So we'll just see how they pull up.
Were you worried about, sort of, not worried, but aware of how big the occasion was, given you've got three players bowing out and a couple of old favourites returning? Were you aware of how the sort of magnitude of the match from a Ryan's perspective?
Well, I made the lads very aware of that during the week. They were saying goodbye to some pretty special players for the Rhinos. Current players that are retiring, and some players that have left the Rhinos, the Leeds club, and were coming back to play for them. So, in front of I think they said tonight it was the biggest crowd they've had here this year. Obviously a celebration of the wonderful season that they've had. So, throw all that together, it certainly brought some real energy to the team, and I thought that worked for us too. I mean, they gave us a real good workout, and we were really pleased with how everything panned out for us.
Were you surprised at how many people were here tonight, and what a big occasion it turned out to be?
Yeah, look, it was awesome to be out in that atmosphere, and it goes to show that how important those boys are to the club, and obviously how much the supporters get into the game, and that. Even when we were right at the end, and I was getting into it, it's awesome atmosphere, and it's good.
Do you ever see yourself playing in England at some time in Super League?
I'm playing right now in England.
Yeah. Joining a club, of course. You clever bugger.
Look, at the moment, I'm just worried about obviously
He's just signed a new contract with the Warriors. I don't think it'll be in the next couple of years.
No, not anytime soon. Obviously, there's a possibility to come over, but I'm just worried about obviously playing for Kiwis and next year the Warriors.
Isaac, for a while there it looked like it might be 0-0 at half time. What were the hardest things to get into and get right as a team when you're playing together the first time, you know?
Obviously, it's completion. Yes, obviously, like the basic principles of rugby league is run hard, tackle hard, kick the ball, and defend it. And there were opportunities that we they gave ourselves, and they just didn't come up for us. And just not being able to capitalise on what we're good at. Getting to a kick, and some of them didn't even go down as far as we wanted. The offloads weren't going to where we wanted them, but the boys really turned up and reacted well. Obviously, there's a lot of tries scored after that, and a great lesson and a lot of cobwebs blown out.
What did you make of the halves, mate?
Our house,
Yeah.
no, they were good. They're a young pair, and I've had the opportunity to be able to work with them the last probably month. Tui's he's had to fly over to Australia to do a bit of work with me and Peter. But I have 100% faith in them and belief in them to be able to get the job done.
Stephen, what needs to improve and change before next week?
Yeah, again, I think for us, I know there are areas of our game, particularly in defence. I thought we let Leeds sort of dictate to us how they wanted to play, and there was a lot of offloads, and again some of our lads haven't played since the first weekend of September. So the idea of tonight is to blow those cobwebs out, and we understand that we're going to have to really improve in a number of areas, and I've got no doubt with tonight's head out and performance that I think we'll go further ahead over the next couple of days in terms of our preparation, just because of that. We lacked a bit of flow in attack. As Isaac said, I think there was a fair bit of ball went down when he was getting out of dummy half, and there was one time there Sammy Moa was past him, overrun him by a metre. So to me, that's all about that's timing. And again, as I said, Isaac, he's missed more than I think he missed the last couple of games because he was suspended. So that's even longer. So tonight's game, my point is tonight's game is a good stepping stone for us in terms of building that, getting that timing right from a defensive point of view. Getting that side of things right. Moving into the first test.
Stephen, is it playing the club side when you're on tours in future something you'd like to replicate, something you'd like to do more and more of?
Well, yeah, I think. Well, again, I don't. I think certainly in this format, in terms of in preparation, for a series is ideal. I think it'd be a bit hard to go back to the old days where you're playing where you're playing them midweek.
Like one before the start of a series.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think it's a wonderful idea. So if the opportunity presents itself, in the future, I'm sure we'd look at it.
And I think you've played in a lot of big occasions in the past. What did you think of tonight's atmosphere?
Yeah, we love coming over here and playing in this atmosphere. It's something that we look really forward to. To be able to bring the crowd into the game is what we want, and it's awesome up there.
Can I ask you how it felt to do the haka for the South Standards? Different to doing it?
No, look, they are obviously they don't really get to see the forward us front on, and we were honoured to be able to do it with Kylie and Ali. They asked us to be able to do it with them. They don't know the new haka, and it was good. Like I said, they got into it as much as we did.
I thought it was a lovely gesture.
To be able to send them two boys off at a great club, is humbling by us as well.
Great players.
Yeah. I think they're coming back to New Zealand.
All good?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.